I had my hair up in such a cute ponytail, but I had to use my hair clip to keep the wire from shaking the camera again. So that's just what it is. That's just what it is. We use what we have. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the third episode of my artist studio vlog series. If you are new here, my name is Daphne Lage, and I'm a cartoonist, illustrator, and comic book artist from New York. I have been making comics since 1992, and I am known for my furry fantasy adventure Tall Tales and my medieval fantasy drama Eagle Raven, Heir of the First Unicorn, which is currently on Kickstarter right now with issue 9. So the links are in the show notes below, or if this was a live stream, I'd call it a show notes, but I don't know. Whatever, where the comment section below has the link to the Kickstarter so that you can check it out. We still have plenty of time for you to look at it. So, and thank you so much if you have pledged already, and thank you so much to everybody who's pledged. Um, so, like I said, this is the third episode of this studio vlog series where I am using kind of like this format to pretty much keep track of all the artwork that I have been doing since the beginning of the year. And then just talking a little bit about whatever is crossing my mind at that moment or at this moment. Like I said, one of the things for this episode is that Eagle Raven issue 9 is on Kickstarter. I got this from the printer. This is my proof for the comic. And it's issue 9 out of a 16 issue series. And I always follow this rule that I never do a Kickstarter without finishing the book first. So if you're concerned about pledging to a Kickstarter because you don't know how long it's going to take for you to get your book, if at all, I mean, there's certainly some campaigns that have done that where people have been waiting 10, 11 years and they've never received their books, not even a refund. But that's not the case here. So my book is ready. My book is finished. The file is ready to go to printer the second the campaign ends. So like I said, the link is in the show notes so that you can pledge to it. Also, before I forget, if you hear any weird noises in the background, it is because I share my office, all 19 square feet of it, with a parrot and two parakeets, and they do whatever they want. The parrot has a tendency to act up, especially when he knows I'm recording. So, like I said, if you hear anything that sounds like, I don't know, video games, a garbage truck backing up, a smoke detector that might need some batteries, some random clicking, that's most likely the parrot. So I apologize in advance, or maybe not. Should I really be apologizing for a parrot? Most likely not. So, like I said, they all do whatever they want, so we can't blame them for that. So, in keeping with the spirit of the vlog, I'm going to be showing the artwork that I have accomplished this week in this space right here. So the first thing that I finished was the last marker piece commission for my House of Bob campaign. I did claim the pen and ink in the last vlog as a finished piece. And in this vlog, I am claiming the full marker color piece as well. So technically the same piece counts twice, but hey, it's my vlogs. I can do that. So that is the first piece that we finished for this week. The rest are pages from my comic Ego Raven. This week I was only able, I think, to do only two pieces, two actual pages from issue 10. Last week I managed to have done more. I did more work last week, but that had a lot to do with the fact that Jose was waking up very early for work. He had to go in like at 7, so or something, the entire week. So he was waking up at like 5:30 in the morning. So instead of sleeping in, I decided to wake up with him. It was very tiring, but I was able to get so much work done last week. And now he's on his regular schedule, which means that I'm just waking up normally now, and haven't been able to recreate that progress as it was. So I did do less work this week because of that. I'm still debating whether I should force myself to wake up that early on a more consistent basis to get more artwork done, but not sure. I'm on the fence about that. Um, but I did do some pages. But the whole point is that as long as I got some pages done this week, I also skipped ahead and did a couple of pages from well, I did a couple of pages, but I only finished one of them from issue 13, because of course I like to reward my work on my comic book pages by doing more comic book pages. And especially in this case, I rewarded myself with almost, with what is it? What page am I on? With being at pretty much a fourth into issue 10. I rewarded myself by coloring in some pages from issue 13, which entertained me immensely. Considering that it's sometimes I just like to reward myself with my characters doing the medieval version of Netflix and chill, let's just say. So I had a lot of fun with that. And I do have, so technically I only have one page finished from that sequence, but I do have some other interesting panels done for fun. So I did that artwork as well. So not as much, like I said, not as much work as I did last week, but I'm still debating whether it's worth actually making waking up at 6 in the morning uh, something I should actually do, or whether it might backfire on me where, you wake up early, which means you have to go to bed early. So, will I actually get more work done by getting up early, or will Mm. It's like, well, it'll just all balance out with me doing the same amount of work because I will be going to bed early to be able to wake up early. I don't know. Like I said, I haven't thought, I haven't convinced myself yet of which is better. So I don't know. I have a tendency to have an easier time waking up early if I guess I have to because Jose's waking up that early, or then whether I have to wake up early on my own. The last time I woke up, I forced myself to wake up that early was when I actually had a job to go to. Um, and then I had no problem waking up that early. And then like carving out the time to do more artwork in the meantime. But now that it's like I work from home, all 19 square feet of the office, um, it's like, I don't know, it's just very hard for me to kind of keep that schedule. So, well, like I said, I'm still thinking about it. So, the other stuff that I've been really thinking about this week as well, comes on the heels of Diamond declaring Chapter 11 bankruptcy. Everyone's kind of like in a wait and see formation. For those of you who don't know, Diamond Distribution is the de facto monopoly in comic book distribution. If you want to see your comic in comic book stores in any type of meaningful way, you have to go through Diamond to do it. It does show how important it is to make sure that when we're selling our comics, that we have different avenues of exposure, essentially, to sell our work. Because if your one entry point goes under, where do you go from there? So, this of course had me thinking about conventions again. Um, this is kind of like, I don't know, it kind of like a weird point for me because conventions is something that I currently have a love hate relationship with. Um, they're not my favorite thing to do. For somebody who has worked in retail, you would think that they would be easy for me, but they're not. I don't necessarily like them, to tell you the truth. My only favorite part, my only likable, not even favorite part of being at a convention is actually setting up the table. And then after that, it's just a whole weekend of absolute dread until it's over. So, this is just a personal issue of mine. I'm kind of like, I'm very much an introvert, and I tire out in public incredibly quickly, especially with a lot of personal interaction. If you have a job that's based on it, it forces you, it forces you to deal with it. But even then, it was still very exhausting, and conventions are exhausting, and especially since most of the time I'm doing them myself. So, for the last couple of years, we haven't been doing a lot of conventions anyway. Pretty much after the advent of Kickstarter, the ROI on the effort is a lot better by doing Kickstarter than by going through the effort of going to a convention. And also, we're perennial New Yorkers. We don't have a car, so going to conventions is difficult for us. Um, so when we do, it's an effort. It really is an effort. And we have to make sure that our effort is worth it. So ever since Kickstarter, we haven't been really making conventions a serious thing, but especially last year, I know I've been really kind of like, not fiending, but kind of understanding that it's like, yeah, conventions is another avenue uh, for for getting my work out there, for getting my comic book work out there outside of Kickstarter, outside digitally. My comics are available on Webtoon. If you want to read it for free, both Eagle Raven and Tall Tales are on Webtoon. But there's only so much that could carry. So sometimes in person events is a good way to meet more fans and new fans who wouldn't be familiar with your book to begin with. It gives you the opportunity of gaining casual followers, people who are just there at the convention to hang out, and then they're like going, "Oh, wait, I might like this." So that's the hope. Um, so I had to kind of like split hairs on doing conventions. And My goal for this year is to try to keep conventions as local as possible. I do have 2 conventions already signed up, uh, and confirmed. I will be at Baltimore Comic Con in Baltimore, Maryland, and Monsterotica, that's not as a vendor. That one is just for me to scope out the convention, to see if that's something I would like to add to my schedule. So, so I was thinking, say, what other conventions are there? And it's like, and I don't want to go to like everything that claims to be a comic book convention, because again, they take a lot of time, and I have to really balance out, do I think the convention would be worth it, um, for the amount of effort that it takes. So, of course, I started looking into, okay, you know what? Let's keep it local. So the only other conventions that I could really find that meet that criteria is New York Comic Con, of course, the big one. Then we have another show, Anime NYC. I would like to try out more anime shows, and that's pretty much the most local anime show I could find. Um, and then the last one, this one's a bit of a punt. It's called 5 Point Fest, which is a vinyl toy convention, which sounds a little odd, uh, but um, we do have a vinyl toy based on one of our characters. This is my character, Silvermane from Tall Tales, and I designed him, and we had another company sculpt him out and make the vinyl toys. So 5 Point Fest feels like the most logical place where we can showcase him along with the comic that he comes out of. The trick is getting into these conventions. The other one that's unofficially on the list, is Mocha, which is a independent artist uh convention, which is kind of a misnomer, I think, at this point, because like for the past several years, it's turned, from what I've seen on YouTube, it's turned more into like a stationary convention than an alternative comic book convention that it started out as. So I sign up every year, I get rejected every year, and now it's like I'm just more signing up out of spite, because I figure that at least, maybe one year I'll luck out and get a table. And it's not like they're giving the tables away. I mean, those stupid things are $500. So I don't understand why it's so difficult for somebody who does comics to get into what is supposedly a comic art um convention. But like I said, they've kind of changed gears in the last several years. So I don't know. So we have Mocha. Like I said, we have New York Comic Con, which New York Comic Con is also very difficult to get into. Usually they save their artist alley tables for people with cred. Uh, so I remember the last time I tried to get a table at New York Comic Con. The guy outright told me that he wasn't going to give me a table just in case a famous person wanted it, and he didn't want me to take up the space. So I was like, oh, okay. Oh, all right. I got you. I heard you the first time. So, I still fill out the form anyway. Like if I were to get an artist alley table, if I luck out and get an artist alley table, I think that the artist alley tables are close to like $400. But since I'm not famous enough and might not get that privilege, they're more than happy to sell me a small press for I think it's either $1,200 or $1,800. And I would have to bring my own tables. I mean, the whole thing is ridiculous. Um, but yeah, it's like, I mean, and the thing is though, it's like if it's sounding like it's a chore, it's because it is. Like I said, I'm not fond of conventions. I get like really drained by them, but at the same time, I do have this weird DIY excitement about putting together my table and what the table would look like, and like what supplies would I have to get. There's very specific supplies I want to spend money on this year because I do want to keep my costs down. So far I have been successful, but then again, it's like we're not even through January yet. But so far I've been able to keep my spending to a minimum. Um, Even with this setup that I have here. Um, so I don't want to get too crazy, especially since it's very easy to get inspired by all the artist alley girlies on YouTube. Um, so but yeah, but the thought of actually doing the convention, kind of understanding that this is something that I have to do, but at the same time, do I really need to do it? But, if we're doing comics, how much do we put ourselves out there? How much are we willing to put ourselves out there? Um and that's kind of like what I'm wrestling with. Um so yeah, so that's pretty much what's been on my mind this week. Just to wrap things up, I'm really happy with this new gimbal that I have this phone on, that I'm filming on. I forgot that I had it until this morning. Well, last night actually, because I had to charge it, and it's working out really well. It's a lot sturdier, and um, and yeah, it's just making it a lot easier for me to record on. The other setup that I had felt a little flimsy, and at least this setup I would trust more. Like if I were to vlog at a convention, this setup that I have now feels a bit more sturdy than the other setup that I had. Something about the legs just feel a lot better. But now I'm just rambling. So thank you so much for joining me this week for my roundup video and listening to me blab about conventions and how I'm going to figure this out. Like I said, if I figure out how to vlog at these conventions, I will do that so they could also be part of the updates. And you can see whether I don't know, maybe the way the vlogs, these weekly vlogs, are making me more productive because like, oh, I got to get artwork. I got to get artwork ready for the roundup vlog. Maybe it'll encourage me more at the conventions, knowing that's like, oh, I gotta make content for the vlog. I gotta like show the convention at the vlog and how it's all working out. So we'll see how it goes. So thank you so much again for joining me. You could be anywhere else, but you decided to watch this video to the end. And if you did watch this video to the end, let's see, put a sun emoji in the chat. A sun dedicated to the early mornings. I'm also still debating whether I should be taking advantage of like a normal person. So yeah, so if you made it to the end, please put a sun emoji in the chat. If you'd like to learn more about me and my artwork and my campaigns, you're going to head on over to my website at egoworks.com, EGOWORKS, where I have links to all of my social media. But I mostly post to Facebook. If you are interested in seeing work in progress and sketches and whatever live updates I may have. I was never able to figure out Discord. I don't know. Everybody uses Discord, and I have no idea how to use it. I don't know why it's so complicated, but that's a whole other thing. Remember also that Eagle Raven is on Kickstarter right now with issue 9. However, if you want to check out Eagle Raven for free, you can read the comic on Webtoon. It updates every Tuesday on Webtoon, along with Tall Tales. Tall Tales is also on Webtoon, updating every Thursday. So that's it for me. Thank you so much. Put all your sun emojis in the in the comments, and I'll see you next time.